Captain Jake Morrison was drinking his morning coffee when the alarms started screaming. He nearly dropped his cup as red lights flashed all over the bridge of the USS Liberty. The ship was humanity's biggest and newest warship, floating in space. "Near Mars, Captain, we have a problem," said Lieutenant Commander Beth Adams. Her voice was tight with worry. "Something big just appeared near Jupiter." Jake set down his coffee and walked to the main screen. What he saw made his blood run cold. Massive ships hung in space like floating cities. They were black and silver, covered in strange lights. Each one was bigger than anything humans had ever built. "How many?" Jake asked. 12 ships, sir. Maybe more coming," Beth replied. "They're huge. Each one is at least 10 times bigger than our largest ship." On Earth, Admiral Kate Sullivan was having the worst day of her life. She sat in the command center deep underground, watching the same alien ships on her screens. Kate was a tough woman who had spent 30 years in the military. She had seen wars and battles, but nothing like this. "Get me President Carter, Kate." "Ordered right now." President Lisa Carter was in a meeting when her phone rang. She was a smart woman who had led the country for 3 years. But nothing in her training had prepared her for this call. "Madam President, we have alien ships in our solar system," Kate said. "They're not friendly." Lisa felt her heart stop. "Are you sure?" "Very sure. They just sent us a message." The alien message came in perfect English. It appeared on every screen. Every phone, every computer on Earth at the same time. The voice was cold and mechanical. "People of Earth, you will surrender now. You have 72 hours to give up your planet. We are the Zephyrian Empire. We have conquered 47 worlds. Your weapons cannot hurt us. Your ships are toys. Submit or die." The message played 3 times, then stopped. Jake Morrison stared at his crew on the Liberty. They all looked scared. He didn't blame them. Earth's space fleet had only 20 ships. The aliens had 12 ships, and each one could probably destroy all of Earth's ships easily. "Sir, what do we do?" asked Commander Rick Torres. Rick was Jake's best friend and second in command. They had served together for 15 years. "We fight," Jake said simply. "With what?" Rick asked. "Our biggest guns won't even scratch those things." Jake looked at the alien ships again. They were beautiful in a scary way, but he noticed something. They weren't moving much, just sat there in space, waiting. "I think we'll just give up," Jake said. "They think we're weak." Back on Earth, President Carter called an emergency meeting. She gathered her best people in the Situation Room. General Pete Hamilton was there. He was the head of all Earth's armies. Dr. Amy Brooks came too. She was in charge of secret weapons research. "Options?" Lisa asked. "We don't have many," Pete said honestly. "Our nuclear weapons might work, but we'd have to get close. Those alien ships would destroy us before we got within range." Dr. Amy Brooks spoke up. "Actually, we might have something." Everyone looked at her. Amy was a small woman with wild hair and thick glasses. She always seemed to be thinking about 10 things at once. "The crazy projects," Amy said. "The ones we built just for fun. The ones everyone said were stupid." Pete frowned. "You mean the joke weapons?" "They're not jokes if they work," Amy replied. Admiral Kate Sullivan was getting reports from all over the solar system. The alien ships were just sitting there, waiting. They hadn't attacked yet, but everyone knew they could destroy Earth whenever they wanted. "They're waiting for us to surrender," Kate told her staff. "They think we're smart enough to know. Can't win." Captain Danny Walsh was the youngest ship commander in the fleet. His ship, the USS Freedom, was small but fast. He was only 30 years old, but he was brave and smart. Admiral requests permission to get closer to the alien ships. Danny said over the radio. "Denied," Kate replied. "Too dangerous." "But we need to learn more about them," Danny argued. Kate thought about it. Danny was right. They needed information. On the alien flagship, Admiral Kethfer was getting impatient. He was a tall, gray creature with 4 arms and big black eyes. He had conquered many worlds for the Zephyrian Empire. This should be easy. "Why haven't they surrendered yet?" Kethfer asked his second-in-command. "Perhaps they don't understand, sir," came the reply. "Send the message again. Make it clearer." Second alien message was even more threatening. It showed pictures of destroyed cities and burning planets. It promised that Earth would look the same if humans didn't give up. But instead of making humans scared, the message made them angry. President Carter watched the message with her advisors. When it ended, she stood up slowly. "They think they can scare us," she said. "They think we'll just roll over and quit." "They have a point," General Hamilton said quietly. "We can't beat them in a straight fight, and we don't fight straight," Dr. Amy Brooks said with a strange smile. Jake Morrison called a meeting of all ship captains. Their faces appeared on screens all around him. Some looked scared. Some looked angry. All of them looked determined. "They gave us 72 hours. Jake said, "That's 72 hours to figure out how to win." "How do we beat ships that big?" asked Captain Tony Clark. "We don't beat the ships," Jake replied. "We beat the people inside them." The alien ships continued to wait. Admiral Kethfer was puzzled. Every other world had surrendered by now. But Earth was different. Instead of giving up, the humans seemed to be getting ready for something. "What are they doing?" Kethfer wondered. His answer would come soon, but he wouldn't like it. 24 hours had passed since the aliens gave their warning. Instead of preparing to surrender, Earth was buzzing with activity. Ships were moving, people were working, and strange things were happening. Dr. Amy Brooks stood in her secret laboratory deep under the mountains. Around her were dozens of weird inventions that other scientists had called crazy. But Amy thought they might be exactly what Earth needed now. "Show me the kinetic harpoons," she told her assistant, Dr. Carl Johnson. Carl led her to a large room filled with devices that looked like giant fishing rods. But instead of catching fish, these were designed to catch spaceships. "They shoot out cables made of super strong metal," Carl explained. "The cables stick to enemy ships and can pull them around. We made them as a joke, but they actually work." Smiled. "Perfect. What about the musical minds?" "Those are ready too," Carl said, looking embarrassed. "They float in space and play really annoying songs before they explode. We used the worst music we could find." Captain Jake Morrison was meeting with his officers on the USS Liberty. They were looking at plans that seemed completely insane. "Let me understand this," said Commander Rick Torres. "We're going to use fishing hooks and bad music to fight aliens?" "That's part of it," Jake replied. "Dr. Brooks has more ideas. Strange ideas." Lieutenant Commander Beth Adams shook her head. "This is crazy. No one fights a war like this." "Exactly," Jake said. "They won't expect it." On the alien flagship, Admiral Kethfer was reading reports from his scouts. The human ships were moving in weird patterns. They kept stopping and starting for no reason. Some ships were spinning in circles. "What are they doing?" Kethfer asked his second-in-command, Commander Zickstall. "We don't know, sir. Their behavior makes no sense. Sometimes they fly toward us, then turn around and fly away." Kethfer was getting frustrated. In all his years of conquest, enemies had always acted logically, either fought or surrendered. They didn't do whatever this was. Captain Danny Walsh was having the time of his life. His small ship, the USS Freedom, was testing something Dr. Brooks called gravity anchors. They were devices that could make space itself heavy in small areas. Drop one near that asteroid, Danny told his crew. They released the device and watched it work. The asteroid suddenly started moving in slow, wobbly circles, like it was stuck in thick mud. "It works," shouted Lieutenant Mike Foster. "We can make their ships move like they're underwater." President Lisa Carter was in her office, talking to each world leaders on video calls. Everyone was scared, but they were also getting excited about Earth's plan. "You want to do what?" asked the Prime Minister of England. "We're going to annoy them to death," Lisa said simply. Literally. The plan was getting bigger and stranger every hour. Commander Rosa Martinez was in charge of something called Protocol Annoyance. Her job was to fill the aliens' computers with Earth's internet. "We're going to send them everything," Rosa explained to her team. "Cat videos, cooking shows, social media arguments, conspiracy theories, everything that makes no sense." "Will that work?" asked Sergeant Paul Davis. "Have you ever tried to understand internet comments?" Rosa asked. "It'll drive them crazy." Dr. Amy Brooks was explaining her favorite weapon to Admiral Kate Sullivan. It was called the Empathy Engine, and it was the strangest thing Amy had ever built.
Ow.
It makes people feel what other people feel, Amy said. We pointed at the aliens, and they'll start thinking like humans. Kate stared at the device. It looked like a satellite dish covered in Christmas lights. That sounds dangerous. For them, yes, Amy replied. Humans think in ways that break alien minds. They're too logical. They can't handle our kind of chaos. Aliens were starting to notice that something was wrong. Our computers kept getting strange messages from Earth. The messages didn't make sense, but they wouldn't stop coming. Sir, the humans are sending us videos of small furry animals, reported Zixtal. Why? Kethfer asked. We don't know. They're also sending moving pictures of food being prepared and arguments between humans about subjects that don't matter. Kethfer felt a headache coming. He had never gotten headaches before meeting humans, Captain. Tony Clark was preparing his engineering team for something called Operation Furniture Rearrangement. They were going to board alien ships and move things around. We're not trying to destroy anything, Tony explained. We're just going to make their lives uncomfortable. Change the temperature. Move their chairs. Leave notes everywhere. What kind of notes? Asked engineer Lucy Hayes. Helpful suggestions, Tony said with a grin. Like your ship would look better painted blue, and have you tried turning it off? And on again. The first test of human weapons happened near Jupiter. Captain Danny Walsh's ship fired a kinetic harpoon at a small alien scout ship. The harpoon stuck, and suddenly the alien ship was being dragged around like a dog on a leash. It works. Danny laughed. They can't break free. The alien pilot was screaming into his radio. The ship was spinning and tumbling, and he couldn't control it. He had never experienced anything like this in 20 years of space combat. Commander. Beth Adams launched the first musical mine. It floated toward the alien ships while playing a song that mixed heavy metal music with children's nursery rhymes. The combination was so awful that 2 alien crew members asked to be transferred to different ships. Phase 1 is working, Beth reported. The aliens are definitely confused. Admiral Kethfer called an emergency meeting with his commanders. They gathered on his flagship to discuss the human problem. Report, Kethfer ordered.
Ow.
The humans are not acting like any enemy we've fought before, said Commander Yellenox. They seem to be treating this war like a game. They're using weapons that make no strategic sense, added Commander Zixtal. Their attacks don't try to destroy us. They just try to make us uncomfortable. Uncomfortable? Kethfer repeated. Yes, sir. They've been rearranging furniture on captured ships. They've been playing terrible music. They've been sending us recipes for something called cookies. Kethfer felt his headache getting worse. He had studied human military tactics, but nothing in his files mentioned anything about furniture or cookies. Perhaps they're trying to confuse us, suggested Yellenox. It's working, Kethfer admitted. On Earth, President Carter was getting reports from all over the solar system. Phase 1 of the human plan was a complete success. The aliens were confused, frustrated, and starting to make mistakes. They're trying to figure out what we're doing, General Pete Hamilton reported, but they can't. Every time they think they understand, we do something even weirder. Dr. Amy Brooks was already preparing Phase 2. It would be even stranger then. Phase 1? Are you ready for the next step? Lisa asked Amy. Amy's eyes lit up with excitement. Oh yes. They have no idea what's coming. The aliens thought humans were just being annoying. They had no idea that Earth was just getting started. The real fun started on the second day. Colonel Sam Parker was leading the first boarding mission, but not the kind anyone expected. Instead of trying to capture alien ships, his team was going to break in and redecorate. Remember Sam told? His squad, as they prepared their small boarding pods, we're not here to fight. We're here to make their lives annoying. Move furniture around, change the lights, leave sticky notes everywhere. Sergeant Bill Cooper raised his hand. What do we do if they shoot at us? Run away and come back later, Sam replied. This isn't about being brave. It's about being persistent. The boarding pods looked like escape capsules, but they were modified to cut through alien ship holes. Sam's team launched from a cargo ship that the aliens thought was harmless. The aliens didn't even try to stop them. Inside the alien ship, Sam's team got to work immediately. They found the main corridor and started rearranging everything. They moved chairs to different rooms. They changed the temperature controls. They put up posters of Earth animals in the hallways. "This is weird," whispered Private Ann Miller as she taped a picture of a cat to an alien computer screen. "That's the point," Sam replied, adjusting an alien chair to the wrong height. The alien crew was completely confused. They kept finding their stuff in the wrong places. Someone had changed their eating area into a place that looked like an Earth coffee shop, complete with fake plants and soft music. Captain Tony Clark was having even more fun with his engineering team. They had invented something called gravity anchors, and they were using them to make alien ships feel seasick. "Drop 3 anchors around that cruiser," Tony ordered. The gravity anchors created small areas where space itself became thick and wobbly. The alien ship suddenly started moving like it was underwater. The crew inside couldn't walk straight. Many of them started throwing up. "Sir, the humans have made our ship feel sick," reported an alien officer to his captain. "What do you mean, sick?" "Everything is moving wrong. The floor feels like it's moving. Half the crew is vomiting." The alien captain had never heard of anything like this. In his files, weapons either destroyed things or they didn't work. Had no category for weapons that made people feel uncomfortable. Commander Rosa Martinez was running. Protocol annoyance from Earth. Her job was to flood alien communication systems with Earth's internet. She had teams working around the clock to send the most confusing content they could find. "Send them the entire history of social media arguments," Rosa ordered. "Also add some cooking videos and conspiracy theories about whether birds are real." Alien communication officers were going crazy. Their computers were getting thousands of messages per second. The messages were about things that made no sense. Why were humans arguing about the color of a dress? Why were they making videos about putting food together? What were memes? "Sir, the humans are sending us pictures with text that doesn't match the pictures," reported an alien communication specialist. "Give me an example," demanded his supervisor. "There's a picture of a cat, but the text says 'I can' as cheeseburger. It makes no grammatical sense in any language we know." The supervisor looked at the image. The longer he stared at it, the more confused he became. Something about the cat's expression was bothering him, but he couldn't figure out what. Lieutenant Jake Bennett was leading what Dr. Amy Brooks called aggressive kindness operations. His team's job was to leave care packages for alien boarding parties. "What's in the packages?" asked Corporal Steve Morgan. "Sandwiches, music players, maps of Earth's best vacation spots, and notes saying we hope they're having a terrible time," Jake explained. "That doesn't make sense," Steve said. "Exactly. They'll spend hours trying to figure out if we're being nice or mean." The first alien boarding party found one of Jake's care packages when they tried to capture a human supply ship. Food, entertainment, and a note that said, "Welcome to our solar system. We hope you hate it here. Please enjoy these snacks while you fail to conquer us. Love, the humans." The alien commander stared at the note for 20 minutes. Were the humans threatening them or being friendly? The food was actually pretty good, which made it even more confusing. Admiral Kate Sullivan was watching all of this from Earth's command. "Center, the aliens were making mistakes now. They were spending more time trying to understand human behavior than fighting." "Phase 3 is ready," reported Dr. Amy Brooks. "What's Phase 3? Kate asked. "We start being actively friendly while making their lives miserable." Amy replied with a scary smile. On the alien flagship, Admiral Kethfer was having the worst day of his very long life. His reports were full of things that shouldn't be possible. "Let me understand this," he said to his officers. The humans boarded the ship Corvex, but instead of sabotaging it, they organized the supply room and left instruction manuals for the equipment. "Yes, sir." They also fixed a broken air filter and left flowers in the captain's quarters. The ship Delnox. The humans somehow made it so every door plays music when you open it. Different music. They can't figure out how to turn it off. Kethfer felt like his brain was melting. "What about the ship Vortok?" The humans painted it. From the outside, while it was moving, they painted a giant smiley face on the hull. "How is that even possible?" don't know, sir. They used some kind of magnetic paint system. The face is bright yellow and can be seen from very far away. Captain, Zoe Taylor had led the painting mission. It was the most dangerous and pointless thing she had ever done, which made it perfect for confusing aliens. Why did we do that? Asked Lieutenant Chris Adams as they flew away from the painted alien ship. Now every time they look at their own ship, they'll see a happy face, Zoe explained. They'll spend weeks trying to figure out what it means. What does it mean? Nothing. That's what makes it so effective. The psychological warfare was working better than anyone had hoped. Major Ben Cooper was in charge of broadcasting Earth, content at alien positions. He had started with news shows and sitcoms, but now he was using reality television. Today, we're sending them cooking competition shows and dating programs, Ben announced to his team. Is that wise? Asked Captain Nina Foster. Have you ever watched reality TV? Ben asked. It's designed to confuse people who understand human culture. Imagine what it'll do to aliens. The alien crews were getting disturbed by Earth television. They couldn't understand why humans would compete to cook food for judges who were mean to them. They couldn't understand why humans would try to find romance on television while other humans watched and voted. Sir, the humans appear to enjoy watching other humans suffer in controlled environments, reported an alien analyst. That sounds ominous, replied his commander. It gets worse, sir. They also watch shows about buying and selling houses, but they get emotionally invested in the outcomes. The commander felt a chill run down his spine. What kind of species found entertainment in real estate transactions? Dr. Amy Brooks was preparing her masterpiece. The empathy engine was almost ready. Soon the aliens would experience what it was like to think like a human. She wondered if they would survive the experience. Are you sure this is safe? Asked Dr. Carl Johnson. Safe for us, Amy replied. For them, well, they wanted to conquer us. They should have thought about the consequences. Aliens were starting to realize they had made a terrible mistake. These humans weren't just refusing to surrender. They were actively enjoying the war. They were treating the entire conflict like some kind of elaborate prank. Sir, said Commander Zixtel, I'm starting to think we should reconsider our approach. Admiral Kethfer nodded slowly. Contact the High Command. Tell them that Earth is ... unusual. What should I tell them, sir? Tell them the humans are weaponizing friendship. And somehow, it's working. By the third day, the aliens were completely lost. Nothing in their military training had prepared them for what humans were doing. Admiral Kethfer was getting reports that made no sense at all. Sir, the humans have started leaving birthday parties on our ships, reported Commander Zixtel. Birthday parties? Kethfer repeated. Yes, sir. They break into our ships, set up decorations, leave cake, and sing songs. Then they leave before we can catch them. Kethfer stared at his second-in-command. Are you feeling well? I thought. I was, sir. But yesterday, I found myself humming one of their songs. It's very catchy. Captain Zoe Taylor was the master of the birthday party raids. Her team had perfected the art of breaking into alien ships, throwing surprise parties, and escaping before anyone knew what happened. Today we're hitting the command ship, she told. Her squad. Intelligence says it's Commander Yellenox's birthday tomorrow. How do we know when aliens have birthdays? Asked Lieutenant Chris Adams. We don't, Zoe replied, so we're making one up. Every day is someone's birthday if you try hard. Enough. Her team launched from 3 different directions. They cut into the alien ship's party room and got to work. Within 30 minutes, they had hung colorful decorations everywhere, set up a large cake, programmed the ship's speakers to play Happy Birthday in 17 different Earth languages. When Commander Yellenox found the party, he stood in the doorway for 10 minutes, just staring. The cake had his name on it and frosting. The decorations were bright and cheerful. A banner said, Happy Birthday, Yellenox. Hope your invasion goes badly. Should we remove it? Asked one of his officers. I don't know, Yellenox replied. One has ever thrown me a party before. Lieutenant Jake Bennett was expanding his care package program. His team was leaving care packages that were specifically designed for each alien they encountered. This one is for the ship's cook, Jake said, packing a box full of Earth spices and recipes. This one is for their engineer, he added, filling another box with tools and instruction manuals. "And this one is for their captain." "What's in the captain's box?" asked Corporal Steve Morgan. "Stress relief toys, herbal tea, and a book about anger management," Jake replied. "Plus a note that says leadership is hard." "We understand." "Still going to defeat you, though?" The alien crews were starting to fight among themselves. Some wanted to destroy the care packages. Others wanted to keep them. The human gifts were actually useful, which made everything more confusing. "Gave us better tools than our own government," complained an alien engineer. "Their food tastes better than ours, too," added an alien cook. "The stress toys really do help," admitted an alien captain quietly. Captain Danny Walsh was having the most fun with the gravity anchors. He had figured out how to use them to make alien ships dance. "Watch this," he told his crew as he deployed anchors around a large alien cruiser. The alien ship suddenly started moving in a slow, graceful circle. Then it began bobbing up and down. To anyone watching, it looked like the ship was dancing too. "Music, sir. The ship Korvax appears to be dancing," reported an alien communication officer. "Ships don't dance," replied his commander. "This one does, sir. It's actually quite beautiful." The commander looked out the window and watched his ship moving in perfect rhythm. Despite himself, he found it oddly relaxing. Dr. Amy Brooks was ready to use her secret weapon. Empathy engine was powered up and aimed at the alien fleet. She had tested it on volunteers, and the results were exactly what she had hoped for. "When I turn this on, the aliens will start thinking like humans," she explained to Admiral Kate Sullivan. "Is that good or bad?" Kate asked. "For us? Good for them? Well, let's just say human thinking is an acquired taste." Amy activated the empathy engine. Invisible waves spread out from Earth toward the alien fleet. The effect was immediate. On the alien flagship, Admiral Kethver suddenly felt something strange. He looked at his tactical display, and instead of seeing strategic positions, he started wondering if his ships were happy. Did ships have feelings? Were his crews getting enough sleep? "Are you all right?" asked Commander Zixtel. "I just realized something," Kethver said slowly. "We invaded their home." "How would we feel if someone invaded our home?" "Strange, too? We'd probably be upset. We might even fight back in creative ways." "Exactly," Kethver exclaimed. "Wait, why am I agreeing with you? This is a war." But the damage was done. The empathy engine was making the aliens understand human emotions. They were starting to feel guilty about the invasion. They were beginning to appreciate human creativity. Some of them were even enjoying the music and food humans had shared. Commander Rosa Martinez increased the internet bombardment. Now she was sending aliens social media posts, viral videos, and online debates about whether hot dogs were sandwiches. "Sir, the humans are now arguing about whether water is wet," reported an alien communication specialist. "What do you mean?" asked his supervisor. "They're having a philosophical debate about the nature of wetness. Some say water makes things wet but isn't wet itself. Others disagree strongly." The supervisor tried to understand this for several hours. By the end, he had a headache and a strange desire to join the argument. Captain Tony Clark expanded his furniture rearrangement program. Now, his teams were not just moving things around, they were improving alien ships. "We installed better lighting in their hallways," Tony reported. "We also added comfortable seating areas and painted murals on the walls." "Why?" asked Admiral Kate Sullivan. "Because now they'll feel guilty about trying to destroy us," Tony explained. "We're making their ships nicer than they were before." Plan was working. Alien crew members were starting to appreciate the improvements. Some were even requesting specific changes. "Could you paint something in my quarters too?" an alien engineer asked when he found a human improvement team. "What would you like?" asked engineer Lucy Hayes. "Maybe something cheerful? My room is very gray." Lucy painted a beautiful sunset scene on his wall. The alien engineer stared at it for hours, feeling emotions he had never experienced before. Major Ben Cooper decided to escalate the television broadcasts. Now, he was sending aliens Earth's most confusing content. Internet videos of people doing random things for no reason. Today we're broadcasting videos of humans stacking rocks, people making tiny food, and someone explaining why they collect. Vintage doorknob's been announced, sir. Why? Asked Captain Nina Foster. Because after watching enough of our random content, they'll realize that humans are completely unpredictable. And if we're unpredictable, we're dangerous. The aliens were, indeed, starting to understand this. They watched humans do things that served no purpose except to make themselves happy. They saw people spend hours on hobbies that had no practical value. They witnessed humans being creative just for the joy of creation. Sir, I think I understand what's happening, Commander Yellenox told Admiral Kethfer. Explain, Kethfer ordered. These humans don't think like us. They don't follow logical patterns. They do things because they want to, not because they have to. That sounds chaotic. It is, sir, and that makes them impossible to predict. How do you fight an enemy who might decide to throw you a birthday party instead of shooting at you? Kethfer considered this. It was a good question. In all his years of conquest, he had never faced an enemy who fought with kindness and confusion. Sir, I have another report, said Zixtel. The humans have started leaving instruction manuals for our own equipment.
Oh.
They've apparently figured out how our ships work better than we have. That's impossible. They fixed the air recycling system. On ship Mectron, it's working better than it has in years. They also improved the food preparation systems on 3 other ships. Kethfer felt a strange emotion. Was it gratitude? He quickly pushed the feeling away. Contact the High Command. He ordered, "Tell them we need reinforcements." What should I tell them about the situation here? Tell them the humans have weaponized helpfulness, and somehow it's more effective than our weapons? But Kethfer was starting to suspect that reinforcements wouldn't help. How do you fight an enemy who insists on being nice to you while making your life impossible? On the 4th day, Dr. Amy Brooks decided it was time to end this war. She had one final weapon that would break the aliens completely. She called it Operation Friendship Cannon. We're going to force them to be our friends, she explained to President Lisa Carter. How do you force friendship? Lisa asked. By being so aggressively nice to them that they can't handle it, Amy replied. We're going to help them with everything while making their invasion impossible at the same time. Captain Jake Morrison led the first Friendship Cannon mission. His team approached the alien flagship in small, harmless-looking ships. But instead of weapons, they carried supplies and gifts, says Liberty to Alien Flagship, Jake broadcast. We noticed you've been having trouble with your air filters. We brought replacements. Also, we made cookies. Admiral Kethfer stared at his communication screen. They want to fix our air filters? Bring us cookies, sir? Added Commander Zixtel. This has to be a trick, but it wasn't. Jake's team docked with the alien ship and immediately got to work. They fixed the air filters, cleaned the hallways, and left fresh cookies in the break room. Then they sabotaged the weapon systems while humming cheerful songs. Sir, our main guns are down, reported a weapons officer. Did the humans damage them? Kethfer asked. No, sir. They improved them. Now they only shoot confetti and play music. Commander. Lucy Hayes was leading the most ridiculous mission of her life. Her team was boarding alien ships to host surprise parties for random crew members. Today is maintenance worker Zekran's Appreciation Day. She announced as her team set up decorations in an alien engine room. How do you know? Asked Sergeant Bill Cooper. We made it up, Lucy replied. Everyone deserves appreciation. When Zekran found the party, he was so confused he started crying. No one had ever appreciated his work before. The humans had made him a cake shaped like the engine he maintained. They had put up signs saying Zekran is amazing and best. Engine keeper in the galaxy. Why are you being nice to me? Zekran asked through his tears. 'Cause you work hard and deserve recognition? Lucy replied simply. Also, we disabled your weapons while you were distracted by our kindness. Captain Steve Morgan was in charge of the most insane military operation ever attempted. His squadron was performing synchronized space maneuvers that spelled out messages. While attacking alien ships, spell out, "We like you, but stop invading in formation," Steve ordered his pilots. The human ships moved in perfect coordination, creating giant letters in space. At the same time, they were using gravity anchors, too. Make alien ships spin uncontrollably. Sir, The humans appear to be writing poetry in space while disabling our fleet, reported an alien tactical officer. What does the poetry say? Asked his commander. Roses are red, violets are blue, your invasion is failing, and we like you. 2. The commander felt his brain shutting down. It doesn't even rhyme properly. It rhymes in English, sir. Why do I know that? Dr. Amy Brooks was ready for the final phase. The empathy engine was at full power. Every alien in the fleet was now thinking with human emotions and logic. The results were exactly what she had hoped for. Admiral Kethfer was having an emotional breakdown. He looked at his invasion fleet, and instead of seeing military might, he saw friends and family who were far from home. He thought about his own planet and how he would feel if aliens invaded it. Commander Zixtal, he said quietly. Yes, sir. Do you think we're the bad guys? Zixtal had been wondering the same thing. Humans haven't actually hurt anyone. Sir, they've been fixing our ships and feeding us. They've also been stopping our invasion. But wouldn't we do the same thing if someone invaded our home? Kethfer felt a terrible realization washing over him. The humans were defending their home, and they were doing it with more creativity and kindness than he had ever seen. Yes, sir. Incoming. Message from the High Command, reported a communication officer. The message was from the Zephyrion Supreme Leader. He wanted to know why the invasion was taking so long. Kethfer stared at the message for a long time. How could he explain that? The humans had defeated them with birthday parties and cookies. Commander Rosa Martinez decided to end the internet bombardment with something special. She sent the aliens Earth's most powerful weapon, videos of baby animals being cute. Send them everything, she ordered. Puppies, kittens, baby elephants, penguin chicks. All of it. The alien crews were completely overwhelmed. They spent hours watching videos of tiny animals playing and sleeping. Many of them started making cooing sounds. Some requested specific animals they wanted to see more of. Sir, I think I want to pet a puppy, admitted an alien weapons officer. That sounds nice, replied his commander. DREAMILY, Captain Danny Walsh. Performed the final gravity anchor operation, surrounded the entire alien fleet with anchors, and created what he called the friendship dance. All 12 alien ships began moving in perfect synchronization. They spun and bobbed and weaved through space like they were dancing to cosmic music. From Earth, it looked like the aliens were performing a beautiful space ballet. Sir, our entire fleet is dancing, reported Commander Zixtal. I can see that, Kethfer replied. It's actually quite lovely. Should we try to stop it? Why? Will we ever get another chance to participate in interstellar choreography? The final blow came when Captain Tony Clark's improvement teams finished their work. Every alien ship in the fleet was now more comfortable and efficient than it had ever been. The humans had fixed every problem, upgraded every system, and made every space more livable. Sir, the humans have made our ships better than new, reported an alien engineer. How much better? Kethfer asked. The engine efficiency is up 40%. The air is cleaner. The food tastes amazing. They installed entertainment systems. In every room, Kethfer felt the last of his resistance crumble. How could he destroy a planet full of people who had spent 4 days making his life better? That's it, he announced. I can't do this anymore. He opened a communication channel to all ships in his fleet. All ships, this is Admiral Kethfer. The invasion is over. We're going home. Sir, the High Command will not approve, warned Zixtal. We won't tell them the truth, Kethfer replied. We'll tell them Earth is defended by the most terrifying weapon in the galaxy. What weapon is that, sir? Weaponized friendship? Aggressive kindness? Tactical helpfulness. Kethfer paused. We'll tell them the humans are dangerously nice. President Lisa Carter received the alien surrender message an hour later. Admiral Kethfer appeared on her screen, looking tired but somehow happier than when he had arrived. People of Earth, he said, the Zephyrian Empire formally apologizes for attempting to invade your world. We withdraw all our forces and promise never to return. That's very kind of you, Lisa replied. Would you like some cookies for the trip home? Actually, yes. Your cookies are excellent. Dr. Amy Brooks was documenting the victory for history. Earth had won its first interstellar war without firing a single shot in anger. It defeated a superior force through pure, concentrated absurdity. How did we do it? asked Admiral Kate Sullivan. We showed them what humans are really like, Amy explained. We're illogical, creative, kind, and completely unpredictable. They couldn't handle it. Will this work on other aliens? Probably. Most species that are advanced enough for space travel are logical and organized. They can't deal with our special brand of chaos. Admiral Kethfer's final transmission was broadcasted to the entire Zephyrian Empire. Earth has been classified as a Level 10 Do Not Contact zone. The humans are dangerously unpredictable and should be avoided at all costs. They fight wars with birthday parties and win through aggressive friendship. Any commander who approaches Earth will be required to undergo psychological evaluation. Upon return, the message was forwarded to every alien civilization in the galaxy. Within a year, Earth had a reputation as the most terrifying planet in known space. Not because humans were violent, but because they were so weird that fighting them was psychologically damaging. Captain Jake Morrison was promoted to Admiral and put in charge of Earth's new Diplomatic Chaos Division. Their job was to prepare even stranger defenses in case other aliens showed up. What's our next project? Asked Commander Rick Torres. Dr. Brooks wants to build something called a hug cannon, Jake replied. Apparently it forces enemies to feel love and affection. That sounds horrible for them. Yes, for us it sounds like fun. Earth was safe. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Never underestimate a species crazy enough to fight a war with kindness, cookies, and synchronized space dancing, and somewhere in deep space, Admiral Kethfer was enjoying the best cookies he had ever tasted, while his fleet performed one final friendship dance on their way home.